Dear students, in this video we are going to discuss the concept of moment of force, which is also known as torque. Torque refers to the rotational effect of force when a force tries to rotate the body. That rotational effect is named as torque. I'll give you few instances where you will see that the force that you have applied eventually turns out into the rotation of the object. Example number 1. Suppose you have an object kept over here, right? And when you decide to apply a force, just a second, when you decide to apply the force on one of the ends of the object like this, the object tends to rotate, right? So this is known as the rotational effect of force. Like the force which was applied eventually turned into rotational effect. Example number 2. Have you ever seen the blades of the fan, ceiling fan, which are moving? So when a fan moves, when a fan rotates, the center of the fan remains constant. It remains to its particular position only. So this means there is angular acceleration which is existing in the fan, but the center of mass of fan is still at rest. I repeat, instance number 2, see the fan moving, rotating. Okay, ceiling fan. So what we are going to see that the center of the fan remains constant. It remains at its particular position, whereas its blades are rotating. Okay, so this means the angular acceleration is existing inside the fan, but the center of mass is still at rest. Alright, so this means that there is no external force which is getting applied on the fan, because if center of mass is at rest, F external has to be 0, right? But what we are seeing that without an external force, how is this possible that a fan is rotating? So the answer to this question lies in the fact that the force which is there in the fan is actually causing rotational effect. The electric motor which is there in the fan, it is actually converting the electrical energy into mechanical energy, and that mechanical energy is only causing the rotational effect. So that rotational effect is named as torque again. Okay, now I'll give you the third example where you are going to see the application of rotational effect called torque. Have you ever seen the door which is rotating? When we apply the force, the door opens or closes, and eventually what do we see? That the door covers the motion in arc. Okay, so let's have a look here to see how the door rotates. Now suppose that this is the door I am talking about, okay, and here we are fitted with some handle of the door, right? So what we have to do, see, the door is always fixed to an end and it is free at the other end, and this end which is fixed, the door actually rotates around this fixed end. Now we have to see that if I choose different points where I am going to apply the force on the door, how the door will rotate. So you have to see that you apply the force at the other end of the door, and the door smoothly rotates. It smoothly opens, it smoothly closes, right? Whereas if I'll apply a force over here, okay, if I'll apply a force over here, the door, you feel difficulty to open the door. Similarly, when I'll apply the force over here, you will face more difficulty in opening the door. But when I'll apply force over here, you will face less difficulty, and the door smoothly closes or opens when the force is applied at exactly the other end of the door. So what does that mean? That in rotational motion, it matters a lot where you are applying the force. Like how much force you are applying, of course it matters. Okay, how much force you are applying, whether you are applying it with a finger or a hand, how much force you are applying. But it also matters that from the fixed end, at what distance you are applying the force, right? Like if I applied the force over here to open the door, this is the fixed end. Okay, if I'll apply the force over here, you will observe that you will face difficulty. Whereas at the other end, you are not going to face any difficulty. But there is another factor also over which this rotational effect depends. See, tau is torque. Torque is rotational effect of a force. It depends upon the amount of force that you have applied. It depends upon the point where you have applied the force. And at last, on what does it depend? You need to see here. Suppose if I have chosen the maximum distance, right? I have chosen the maximum distance and I am applying the maximum force. But I am applying the force in this direction and not applying the force in this direction. So I am applying it in this direction. So door is not going to open. But what does that mean? This means the torque is zero in this case. See, this is the fixed end of the door. And if I am applying the force at this end, here, the door is not going to open. But if I'll apply it perpendicularly, the door is going to open or close. So, torque becomes zero. But what is zero? Here, sine theta or cos theta. Here, theta is the angle between r vector and f vector. See, I repeat, this is the door. When you apply the force in this direction, like this, you are not going to open or close the door. So what is getting zero here? Actually, sine theta. Because this is the fixed end of the door. This is r vector and this is f vector. They both are having an angle of 180 degree with each other. So what is zero? Sine 180, cos 180, whatever. So sine 180 is 0, so torque depends upon sine theta. So when you combine all these factors, you are going to get that torque actually is Rf sine theta. And it's a vector quantity. It matters from which end you are opening or closing the door. So torque can be clockwise, it can be anti-clockwise. So what is going to happen? It's a vector quantity and it is written as a cross product of r vector and f vector. Okay, so it's perpendicular to the plane containing r vector and f vector since it's a cross product, and we know that when you have a cross product a vector cross b vector, the resultant c vector is always perpendicular to the plane which is containing a vector and b vector, right? And its direction is determined by right hand screw rule. So let's have a look. What is a right hand screw rule or right hand thumb rule? See, if torque is the cross product of r vector and f vector, then you need to use your right hand and you need to curl the fingers in the direction from r to f. Like if r is here, f is here, so the fingers need to be curled from R to F. Similarly, if this is R and this is F, the fingers needed to be curled like this, right? And the thumb will tell the direction of torque. It's as simple as that. Now we'll talk about the SI unit. We know that tau is equal to RF sine theta. So what will be the SI unit? R has a unit meter, F has a unit Newton, and sine theta has no units because it's perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Perpendicular in meters upon hypotenuse in meters, meter cancel, and sine theta practically has no units. So what are the units of torque? Newton, meter. What are the dimensions of torque? R has a dimension L, F has a dimension MLT minus 2, sin theta has no dimensions, so torque becomes ML2T minus 2. Now we are going to consider different cases where we are going to see the torque acting on a rod. So let's have a look. Suppose you have a rod. Okay, that rod is OA. Right? Now I am going to apply the force on this rod in different directions, and ultimately I am going to see how the rod will rotate. Suppose the rod is suspended from point O, right? And case number 1, if I apply a force over here, this is the rod, right? This is the rod and I am applying the force in this direction. So, am I going to rotate the rod? Seriously? So, theta equals to 0 degree here. Reason being, the rod is suspended from this point and this is R vector and this is the direction where I am trying to pull the rod, which is practically very difficult, but I am doing it. Suppose I am trying to pull it in this direction. So, theta is equal to 0 degree. Reason being, this is the direction of R vector. This is the direction of your applied force, right? And torque will be RF sine theta again. So in place of theta, you just put sine 0 degree, right? And sine 0 degree is 0, of course. So torque becomes 0. This means in this case, the rod is not going to rotate under the action of your applied force. Okay, so let's discuss case number 2. In case number 2, you again have the same rod, but this time what you have chosen, you are applying a force in this direction, like this, like this. So this is R vector, the length of the rod. Okay, R vector is actually the distance at where you are applying the force. Okay. So again, this red colored line is representing the rod, OA, and you have applied the force in this direction. So this is R vector and this is F vector, and both of them are sharing an angle of 90 degree with each other. Okay, so torque is RF sine theta again. So in place of theta, just put 90 degree and let's see what is going to happen. Torque will be RF. But let me tell you something very, very important, that sine theta is maximum at 90 degree. Because if you see the values of sine theta, it is maximum at 90 degree. It is 1. Sine 90 is 1. So, what is going to happen? Torque will be maximum when the force applied is perpendicular to R vector, perpendicular to the direction of rod. It's as simple as that. Now we are going to discuss case number 3. Case number 3, suppose this is the rod under consideration and you have applied the force in this direction. Like you were standing here and you applied the force in this direction. This was the rod, right? This was the rod. You applied the force in this direction. Now the rod has a tendency to rotate. Let's have a look. This will be R vector. This is your applied force, F vector. And we have to see the angle between R and F. But let me tell you, R has a direction like this. So you cannot tell this angle to be the angle between R vector and F vector, because to measure the angle, two rays should be emerging from one point like this. So let's extend the direction of R so that two rays appear to be emerging from one point, and that's how you measure the angle. This is a rule to measure the angle actually. So this R vector has this direction and this is F vector, and the angle becomes theta. Okay, so let's put a perpendicular line here. If this is theta, this will be 90 minus theta, because this whole angle is 90 degree, right? And let us extend the direction of F vector also. Okay, so if this is theta, this is also theta, right? And torque will be equal to RF sine theta. Okay, and f into r sine theta you can write. After that, you see that if you complete this triangle, this distance P1 will be equal to r sine theta because this is perpendicular. You are hypothetically completing this triangle and this will be perpendicular upon hypotenuse, like P1 upon r equals to sine theta. So P1 will be equal to r sine theta. So in place of r sine theta, you can write P1. So F into P1 is the value of torque in this case. Now we'll discuss case number 4. But in case number 3, we need to see the rotation also, like the rotation will be in this direction. Reason being, you have to curl your fingers from R to F. Now if you will see, this is the direction of R and this is the direction of F. When you will curl your fingers, you will see that the rod will move in this direction. Right? Now we are going to discuss case number 4. This is again the same rod. You are standing here and now you have applied the force in this direction. Again the rod is going to rotate. Okay. So this is the rod. This is r vector. This is f vector, which is the force. Okay. Let's extend the direction of r vector. And this is the angle between f and r, theta. Why we are extending the direction, I've already told you, because there's a rule to measure the angle between any two quantities, and that is the two quantities should be emerging from the same point. Like if you see, this is r, this is f. Here two quantities are not emerging from the same point. That's why we cannot choose this angle between r vector and f vector. We have to extend it so that this appears that r vector is emerging from this point, f vector is emerging from this point, and this is the angle. It's as simple as that. It's theta, right? And let's draw the perpendicular line so that this becomes 90 minus theta. And if this is theta, this will also be theta, vertically opposite angles. So you complete the right angle triangle and ultimately you're going to get the same case. But this time the rotation will be in this direction. I'll tell you why. Because this time the right hand will move like this. Like you have to move your right hand from r vector to f vector. So this is going to curl like this. So when